smells good. Very goodness, Farrell. Good girl. Good morning. Welcome back to Sage and Stone Homestead. My name is Heather. I know it's been a while since we talked garden, and we are going to be getting into the garden really soon because I do have to start planning for my end of winter, early spring garden. But right now we do a lot of goat things because it's just goat season. And we've just got done with breeding season and kidding season, and my boys are coming out of their rut and they look really good. But yesterday I noticed that Mooch looks like he's scouring a little bit. It's probably worms, so we're gonna go ahead and treat the whole buck area with the lye treated feed today. And I've also noticed that Farrell is missing some hair. So I'm gonna show you what we do for that. I have a baby goat that's scouring, so we've got goat maintenance today. But remember with lye that the snow falls on the lake. Add your lye to the water, not water to the lye. My lye was behind the other dewormers that I have. Yeah, couldn't find my lye. I looked at Levi and I said, I cannot keep telling the camera that I can't find things, even though it's true. Oh, goodness, but I'm glad I found it. I stuck it with the dewormers instead of where it used to be, which was under the kitchen sink. I was gonna pull some Toltrazuril for little Miss Spunky, who is scouring in the barn. I'm pretty sure it's coccidia. Usually kids that age, when they start scouring, that's what it is on my farm. So I've kind of stopped running fecals because it was just a very consistent thing. But I have this bottle of the Hoger's All Natural Coccidiosis Treatment and Prevention, and maybe we should try it. I've never tried it. I haven't opened this, but I've had this bottle for a long time. One of the reasons I don't do things a little bit more naturally here on my homestead, or hadn't before things like the lye treated feed for worms, is that it can be a little bit intensive, and I don't usually have the time or like attention span for it. Things that require more of a repeated dose, when it's not in my normal schedule, a lot of times I do forget. Even if I set an alarm, it can be a problem. But this says dosage for a 2-month-old kid, miniature breed, 4 to 6 mLs twice a day for 5 to 7 days. Now I already go down to my goats right about twice a day, and so I should be able to incorporate this and remember to treat her, especially if I leave this bottle out. Sometimes that's how I remember things. That's why things look a little bit cluttered around here. Oh, it smells good. Dang. It kind of smells like apple cider. Ooh, that smells lovely, actually. I'm going to shake it again. Addie, do you want to help me catch Spunky real quick?
Yeah.
Oh, it says ginger root, clove bud, slippery elm bark, cassia, cinnamon, pure spring water. Huh. I don't know if that needs refrigerating now. Maybe. Good morning, bunnies. I need to take your nest box. They've definitely outgrown that. I mentioned recently that I am starting to feed basically free choice alfalfa pellets to my doe herd. I'm not doing the same for the bucks. They are still getting the Combach milk maker. That's the 2-to-1 calcium to phosphorus ratio with the ammonium chloride in it. So I'll mix the lye water in with their feed, and then we'll let this kind of marinate while we treat Spunky. Okay, I've got my Spunky catcher. Thank you. Now she's a little bit poopy on her back end, so watch out for that when you pick her up. There, we got her. You're all right, Spunky. You're all right. It's okay. So, just seeing a little bit of mess on her back end. Like I said, in my herd, very often that means coccidia. There we go. So we're gonna do that twice a day for at least 5 more days, or at least 5 days in total. Having to chase her and catch her is definitely not going to help make her super social, but we'll do what we have to. Yeah.
Oh, it's funky. It's okay, baby.
One thing I've thought about doing is sticking her over here in my wiener pen behind me, where she'd be easier to catch for sure. But I think pulling her from her mom when she's experiencing this coccidia bloom wouldn't be good. It would just stress her out, and a stressed out goat, their immune system goes down. It just wouldn't be in her best interest. So we're gonna leave her with mama, and I just need help catching her. Good morning, boys. I'll be right there. I need to feed Chloe. Hey, Chloe. Hey, Chloe girl. Chloe needs a hoof trimming real bad. We're gonna try to get to that this month. Here's our lye-soaked feed. Probably tell the difference between this in color versus what I've put down with Chloe there. This is well soaked. And one of the things that I've been doing with my boy goats in order to get them used to eating a more damp feed is when it rains or when it snows and the snow melts or the rain pools, I haven't been dumping out their feed cups as regularly. So when I feed them, it goes into that little puddle, their feed gets a little bit damp, and they eat it really fast, so it's not like it's a problem, but they just get used to eating a damp feed. Hey boys. All right. You're the one with the problem. Yep. This is the first time this group has ever had the lye-soaked feed, and so they can tell that something is different. But all it really takes is for one to go for it, and then the other ones are too worried about missing out. Normally I would go ahead and just fill their hay feeders at this point. I'm gonna avoid that this morning and feed them their hay once they've eaten this grain. They have a lot of grass out here, so there's a lot of forage for them. I think there's a plastic bag over there. Well, we might as well go get that, and then I will tell you what I'm doing for Farrell's poor head. Can you see that? This happened to him last year too. Yeah. Swear to goodness, Farrell. Yeah. Definitely don't want that in the goat pen. Yeah, his booty actually looks cleaner than it did yesterday, so might not have been worms. Now, to deal with his head. Now, he is scratching on me, and this is just something Farrell does. I think it's not necessarily due to something like mites. Mites are something that I have never seen on any of the goats, but it's one of the things that I thought might be going on last year when he cropped up with the same problem. What I did for him last year was I did deworm him. I gave him Sidectin, and would Sidectin take care of mites? I don't know. I don't think so. But the other thing I did was give the boys free choice loose zinc mineral, and that took care of it. That or the Sidectin or a combination, but I'm not gonna do the Sidectin this year, and we'll see if it's just the zinc that helps him. A little low on it. Watch out, baby. Watch out, bear, bear. Can you back up? Can you back up? Ugh. There. Marcus, I swear, this goat. Oh man. I should have known Ruckus never would have allowed that. So we're gonna go to plan B, and it should work. Can you reach it? gonna mount it out here. Can you reach that? No. I don't think he can reach it. So, plan C? I really had hoped they'd be distracted with grain while we did this. Dude, can I even? Okay. This isn't plan C, but just in case plan C fails, I would like him to get something. I have heard of people giving like a zinc tablet bolus, like a 50-gram zinc tablet like you buy for humans. I kind of more prefer them to have access to it free choice, so he can take as much as he needs and, you know, no more. Ruckus, do you need some? No, he just wants to play with the bucket. Yeah, and my thumb. Here, look what's here. Do you want this? Not really. He just wants fingies. Just wants fingies. All right, I'm coming in. Watch out. Watch out. There's a protein pail down there. I just threw that on top of it. We'll see. Poor Ruckus making things difficult this year. All right, we made it out of there alive. I'm not giving you guys extra hay until you eat all that grain, okay? Come on, Lou. Come on, girl. As you can see, I've pulled out the little milker again, partially because my elbow is starting to give me a little bit of grief. I really do like hand milking, but hand milking doesn't always agree with me. This is also partially because we have started changing up the way that we're feeding our goats in the barn, and they are a lot less patient on the milk stand. And so if they get to kicking and things, it's easier to not waste milk with the teat cups versus the open bucket. And one of the things Margie's been doing is squatting really, really low. And she has a super low udder to begin with, and so it doesn't math right as far as hand milking. And so I'm really glad that we have this little milker. I do have a bigger milker that I could tote around, but this is a little bit easier to handle when it's cold. My big milker, I can't get it into my house, so I wash it outside, and when that's cold, that's not super pleasant. So this has been really nice. But one of the things that I need to do with the girls that I'm milking now is give them their selenium. I gave all of my goats, except for the pregnant does, their selenium in August. Now these does have all delivered their babies, and they're well past due for their selenium, so they're going to get it at a rate of 1 ml per 40 pounds. And fun fact, when I was online verifying the dosage to give my goats, I actually saw that if your goats are coughing and there's no other symptom or seeming cause for the coughing, then maybe they could be lacking selenium. Very interesting. I get a lot of questions about goats coughing, so I figured I'd pass that along. Margie's 110 pounds. Gotta go the hard way. And you know, Stormy's been a kicker of the bucket. She's still really good at that. She does a lot better with the machine. See what I mean? She's kind of a turd. £93. Girl. I have big Nigerians. The ones that are bred here, they're big. The ones that I bought, not so big. You need help? girl. That little girl we treated for coccidia, this is her mama. This is Winnie. Because Spunky's sick, but Spunky is still on, it's important for me to monitor to make sure Spunky is still nursing. And I can feel a little bit of extra milk in here, so I can tell that Spunky maybe doesn't feel good. I sprayed you with milk. I'm sorry, I'll get it in a second. Foxy is still, I wanted to say detoxing, but we're still withholding milk, or we're withholding milking her because she had antibiotics. It was probably 3-ish weeks ago at this point. I think it's next week I'm able to milk her, and so we will do so at that point in time. Winnie, 81 pounds. I know. Foxy, 75 pounds. Not much lighter.